My guests today are writer-director Erik Jasaň and first AD Patrik Krivanek and their Oscar-qualified short film, The Professional Parent. Now, Erik is a Slovak director, screenwriter, and producer whose work addresses sensitive social issues. In his debut, The Professional Parent received an honorable mention at the 44th Thomas Edison Film Festival and was selected by many other film festivals from around the world. And as a non-film school student, he directed several short films and supported fellow filmmakers, creating student films under his direction that were included in official selections qualifying for the Oscars. Now, Patrik Krivanek is a London and Prague-based film and TV director, producer, and screenwriter, and he explores diverse genres and creates visually and character-driven stories that are entertaining, socially relevant, and thought-provoking. Now, Patrik is a member of BAFTA, BFI, ISA, and RTS, and he has worked in assistant and executive roles on projects ranging from shorts to major features and high-end TV, collaborating with Academy Award, BAFTA, and Emmy winners, including Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks, and Gary Goetzman. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome writer-director Erik Jasaň and first AD Patrik Krivanek and their Oscar-qualifying short, the very powerful The Professional Parent, to the show. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you for
Welcome.
having us.
Hello,
Well-
bon cinema viewers.
Well, it is so great to have you both on the show today. So, my first question is, what inspired you to do a film about professional parenting in Slovakia?
Yeah, first, my biggest inspiration was my sister, who became a professional parent. In 2015, in some regions in eastern Slovakia, unemployment was very high. Every fifth person didn't not have a job, and my sister was no exception. And she's 20 years older than me, and she was looking for a stable work, and there were no job in this region, so she decided to become a professional parent for two Roma children. And I saw how much work with love and energy it takes to care for children who experienced trauma. And I also saw that the system is not perfect and that is overloaded, and that is sometimes cannot choose the right people for this job. And I wanted to speak about this in the complex and honest way without blaming anyone. And this was first time I learned about professional parenting.
So, why do Roma children go to professional parents and then white children go straight to adoption? It seems that the system is possibly a little bit biased and racist.
Uh, the the problem is more complex than simple decisions between Roma and non-Roma children. The the facts are, according to unofficial statistics, more than 60 to 80% of children in children homes are Roma origin. And unfortunately, most people in this region do not have a good relationship with Roma. And people who want to adopt usually choose children who match these own ideas, this family. Yes, this is human and understandable, but it creates imbalance. And for this reason, these children often go to professional families where they wait to see if an adoptive parents appears, or they can return to their biological parents or to someone from their family, biological family. Uh, Therefore, it is not a racism from the professional parents. It is a result of the preferences of adaptive applications and the long-term inequalities. And the future of every child, Roma or non-Roma, depends mainly on the family and community where the child grow up. Children who receive love, support, and safety have a real chance to live a good life. And my film to show that the system should give the same chances to all children, no matters what their ethnicity is.
I completely agree with that. Now, tell me what happened in 2015 when a professional parent actually killed a child, and was it a Roma child?
Yeah, it is was 1 years Roma baby girl, and she was only 1 years old. According to the available information, the autopsy clearly showed that she could not have causes the injuries herself. She has had bruises, and at the funeral, the biological father say to the media that he did not even now this daughter was living with professional parent, and she also say that even if his daughter had lived in a simple hut, she could still be alive today. And this case is still under investigation because the accused man appealed many times against the court's decisions. And according to media reports, there was also another professional parent who could not handle this role. He was only 20 years old, and the children's home gave him three small brothers to care for, and the youngest boy did when the man allegedly throw him on the floor because he was crying. Yeah, and
Wow,
there was very extreme and tragic cases, but they not represent the majority of professional parents. Yeah, but most of them work with great effort and care, uh, just like I saw many so in our own family. Yeah, but these cases are worrying that we must pay attention.
indeed, indeed. So, how many professional parents are in Slovakia, and how much do they make caring for a child or children?
Mm, in 2 years ago was 100 professional parents who cared for more than 1,400 children, and the salary of a professional parent is set by the state. It depends on the number of children and their specific needs, whether health or physical. And the salary can be 1,000 euros to 1,080 euros per month, which is close to the average salary in Slovakia.
Okay, I want to ask a question to Patrick. So, Patrick, what intrigued you about wanting to work on this film?
Uh, yes, so we are long-term friends with Erik, and we met through connections within film festivals. So it was a great community to network, and we met with Erik. And a couple of years ago, We went to Cannes Film Festival together, and on the time when we've been off, we've been talking about this film and about this idea of Erik, and that how he wants to make it a film. So it was a start development of it, and I saw the passion. I saw a passion from him, and also the personal connection, and I loved the way that he wanted to be authentic, and he wanted to be helpful to the community, and I from the very start on, from very beginning, I decided I want to work on it as well.
Well, it's a very, very powerful film. So I want to talk about some of the scenes in this film. And so Eric, definitely you can jump in here. So when Ingrid was being interviewed by the director of the foster home, he asked her how many children she wanted to care for, but she only wanted one. Was this because she was just wanting to know what it would be like to be a professional parent before committing to more?
Yes. Ingrid is a character who wants to look responsible, at least on the outside. She knows that caring for a child is difficult, so she says she wants to start carefully. But in the film, this also shows the contrast between what she says and what she really feels. And for me as a filmmaker, it was important that the viewers follow the story of one child. I did not want their attention to be divided.
So Patrick, in that scene, Ingrid kind of shows her prejudiced a bit because uh, she was wanting a white child, but ended up with a Roma child. So that kind of gave us an insight to her mindset, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and absolutely. And when the Eric started developing the story, he was focusing on so many details, and the backstories of characters. So it was easily to follow for the audience, and he also wanted the story to be universal, to the world, so that it could be understood everywhere around the world, which is such a powerful thing, because even this film is set in eastern Slovakia, and I'm from Czech Republic, which is the country neighboring Slovakia, and we didn't know about this. We didn't know about this issue in Slovakia, because in our country we don't have such an issue, and from very early on I understood, and it was shocking to me, and so seeing the characters and how they're developing, and to have this connection to Eric, and to understand that he is connected to story, was like almost immersive.
Yeah, very, very much so. Now, Eric, when Martinka told Samantha, the Roma child, that she could play with her toys, Ingrid told her that they would not be playing together. Right there, Ingrid showed bias and even racism against the Roma child. Why was that scene important?
Uh, this scene is exactly about that. It is not about open hate, but about hidden prejudice, and that appears in normal everyday situations. My goal was not to show Ingrid as an evil person, but as someone who is also a victim of a system where prejudice works in the background. Uh, Between Martinka and Samantha, there is very pure relationship, and this was very interesting for me. The problem of racism in Slovakia, and I think also in general, is passed from one generation to other. Uh, Prejudice against Roma people, but also Roma prejudice against white people is very deep in our history. and sadly, it grows like a snowball. And Martinka was never been in a situation where her mother tells her not to play with children of another ethnicity. That is why Martinka is for me a pure soul who is not touched by the generational problem. And we should think about how to change this.
Now, Ingrid only wanted to be a professional parent for the monetary benefit, so she wouldn't have to work in a store and she wouldn't have to prostitute herself at night. But she lacked the love to properly care for the Roma child because of her prejudiced attitude, correct?
Uh, yeah, but Ingrid is a complex character. Another personal reason for her was the she wanted to spend more time with her own daughter, Martinka. Yes, money plays a big role, just like real life for many people who live in poverty and must save every euro or life from paycheck to paycheck. But one important factor is also the lack of jobs in the region. This increases the chance for someone chooses to be a professional parent because it gives stable work. And many people I know say they are not racist, but in real life, their their action look racist. I think Ingrid believes the same about herself until she meets the the real situation. And, but in my film, I'm not saying that all professional parents are like this, but the story should show what can happen when someone enters the system for the wrong reasons.
And you did that in a very powerful way. Now, Patrick, what how did you assess the mindset or the character development of Ingrid?
Um, I wanted to understand at first the personal connection. How far is it from the truth and from his sister? Because, as Eric said, the story is inspired by his sister, and she's a professional parent. So I wanted to understand how the story is different from the reality, and it was actually very close, very very close. So what I how I perceive the Ingrid as the character, I believe obviously that she is she is the person who is like in a corner of the house, yeah, and that she the the Eric, he didn't want to make her evil. He wanted to show her human, and also show that she's doing those things just to make her family survive, and just to improve her family conditions. And for me, this was such a strong thing because it was the personal connection to Eric's sister, which I don't know in person. So to see the development of the character from doing those things and like doing almost inhuman things and dehonesting things, doing the prostitution and stuff like that, just for her family to survive, because as Eric said, there is not enough jobs in the region. So I I really like the development, and in such a short period of the time, on just under the 15 minutes, to establish all of this from her from the beginning until the end. I think it was a very 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 strong and powerful, and that's why the film is so powerful.
Indeed, I completely agree because I love the whole character of Ingrid because there's just so much there to look into. Now, Eric, why was it important to have the scene when Ingrid struck Samantha? Was that a reference to what happened in 2015?
Mm. It is moment where Ingrid's mask completely breaks. Uh, it is also an artistic reference to the real tragic cases, but it is not reconstruction. It is, yes, it is dramatic picture of how pressure, frustration, and hidden prejudice and can grow into violence. But this scene show the moment when Ingrid carefully uh, built mask falls apart. Yeah, and but it is not just a scene of violence. It is a scene of a breaking point, a moment when hidden emotions come to the surface. And the physical act is only the result of something that has been growing inside her for a long time.
Indeed. And Patrick, I'll ask you because in that scene, it also alludes to the fact that Samantha has been in more than one professional parent household because no one could control her, correct?
That's correct. That's absolutely correct. And in the story, it's said that she's moved from family to family. So this is another home for her, which is not really a home. She's been dealt as a good, as a as the object, not as the human being, and that's very sad. And I will also add to that previous question of yours to Eric, with that slap. It was because we've been traveling around film festivals all around the world, and it's been interesting to see how this scene is perceived from different audiences across different continents. And so, for example, in the United Kingdom, people were like more like very shocked, like, oh, is there violence against the child? And in the United States, it's kind of violent country, so it wasn't that much. And in other places, like, people always accepted this slightly differently, and it was really interesting to see like how people from different places around the world can actually understand this scene.
Yeah, when I saw that scene, my heart just went out to Samantha because she stated that she wanted to go home to her real parents. And being such a young child, she didn't really fully understand as to why she wasn't allowed to live with her mother and father.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, and Eric, the ending scene with Ingrid in the kitchen, she either feels she made a mistake or she is going to have to make a decision to treat Samantha just like her own child, correct?
Yeah, yeah. The ending is open on purpose. I wanted the audience to feel that Ingrid is standing on the edge of a decisions. She can accept it, Samantha, and as an equal child, or she can continue to follow her own prejudice. This moment decides about her humanity.
Yeah, it's just a very, very powerful emotional scene with Ingrid in the kitchen. Tell me about the incredible cinematography and how it plays into telling of the story.
We used a very subjective style. The camera is often with Ingrid, very close to her, so the viewer feels her world, not the objective world around her. This creates emotional tensions and feeling as of claustrophobic feelings, and we choose a fully subjective style the whole story is told from the point of view of the main character Ingrid. Practically, this means we used the technique one shot, one scene, which means long takes without many cuts. The gives is film natural low. The camera is still handheld and very close to Ingrid, almost touching her, and the viewer is not just watching her, but feels almost inside her space, her fears, and her inner house. And these styles makes the world feels like Ingrid's personal, moral, and physio- physio- phys- sorry, physiological space.
Yeah.
And her daily struggle and her dilemmas. And I wanted the viewer to experience the story from inside, to feel empathy, to be in her head, and not only watching from outside. The viewer sees what to sees only what Ingrid sees.
And yeah, and it was a beautiful cinematography. It added strength and depth and emotion to the power of this story. And Patrick, being first AD, how do you work along with Eric setting up scenes?
Yeah, I was just about to add to this because obviously one take, one scene, or long takes, the choreograph the scene. It's been it's been a big task because obviously the working with children with this docu-realist style of camera. We have such a good cinematographer, so he was very supportive, and he exactly understood what Eric wants from him. And so to choreograph all of the scenes, and it was really a big task because you have to. Eric is a very detailist. He's like very uh, very focused on details. So some of the scenes we were retaking and retaking over and over again, and sometimes I was a little bit scared that some one of our child actors will lose the momentum, and they will lose the spark. But it didn't happen because the Eric's work with them was brilliant. But I think the fact that we didn't have many camera setups also helped because the Eric could choreograph with everyone and to do the blocking perfectly beforehand, and which really helped because then our child actors they knew what Eric wants from them, and that's why I believe their performances were so strong.
Yeah, they all of their performances were fantastic, and the framing and the blocking was spot on to help tell this story. Now, Eric, what color palette did you use? Because it has a somewhat muted color tone. Was this to quietly show the bleak future of Roma children who may end up in a professional parent's home that may lack love?
Uh, we used a muted called color palette that feels realistic and raw. It was not just an artistic choice, it is a way to support Ingrid's emotional world and the way she sees reality. It was not mean to show a dark future for Roma children. The colors are not a comment about these children, and they are comment about Ingrid and her environment world that pushes her into difficult life decisions. Yeah, and cold colors, low saturation, and light gray atmosphere create this feeling.
So,
And
I get.
no, go ahead, Patrick.
I also wanted to add to this that if Eric wanted to follow on this, but there's obviously the big difference between some of the scenes that when we are with Ingrid and with Martinka in a bedroom, and they are much more warmer. So you can see this big contrast between the warmer and cold scenes. So it perfectly reflects um, the word of Ingrid.
No, it absolutely does. How many days did it take to film The Professional Parent?
It was 4 days or 50.
Yeah, we had some extra days just in case, but we managed to film it pretty quickly. And again, I will add, this was thanks to the fact that Erik done a very good rehearsal beforehand, and so we saved so much time on the filming, actual filming.
So, who is the actress that plays Ingrid? Because she did a brilliant job.
Erik, that will be you.
Sorry, yeah.
Um, yeah, who is the actress of Ingrid?
Yes.
uh, is name actress or
Yeah, Lehotska.
yeah, okay, Ela Lehocká.
Yeah.
So, how was she cast?
Ah, sh- yeah, yeah, okay. First, Ingrid was first actress for this film in my casting, and Ingrid have very very heavy face, and I feel that some drama in her face. And for me, Ela Lehocká was my first vote. And yeah, Ella is very professional actress, and we have cooperation together was very important for work with children in the shooting during the shooting.
So, to both of you, what has been the overall audience's reaction to the film, both in Slovakia and other parts of the world like America?
Uh, I love the final moment for this film because in each cinema in the world, after ending film was fully quiet, and this very very strong emotion. And in Slovakia is mainly because people know this topic well, and abroad in the reactions are also strong because the film speaks universal language about morality, poverty, uh, prejudice, and parent love. Yes, and these topics are the same every world. And I think that many viewers from African American backgrounds shared intense and deeply personal responses, often describing how powerfully the film resonated with their own lived experiences. And they said that the topic of system inequalities and prejudice is very close to their lives, so they connected with the story in a natural way. Yeah, and
So, what
this
about you,
this
Patrick? What was some of the audience reactions you noticed, and possibly some of the questions that you received?
Yeah, it was absolutely the same, and I've been in New York when the film screened for a bit, and we had different people coming for the screening, and I always stayed after the screening, and I asked people because they were very quiet, and I asked, but they wanted to talk about it. Yeah, it was not just a film they're gonna finish watching and just go home, but they had a need to talk about it, to ask questions, and if this is the reality, and many people couldn't believe and then the people understood uh, that this is happening on their doorstep, and that what I felt most in the United States. And when we had the people from different backgrounds, they approach the film very differently. Some people said, "Wow, that was very dark," and some people said, "Thank you for this film." But all of the responses were very, very positive, not in a positive, not in the feelings, but the positive that that there's actually someone who wants to talk about this, and that there's actually someone like Erik who wants to bring this story to life and to not let it hidden somewhere in a drawer.
Oh, I completely agree. I completely agree. This is a very powerful film and a very powerful subject for the whole world to see, because even though in Slovakia you have the professional parent, but in other parts of the world like America, we have foster homes. So everybody here can actually relate to that film. So for both of you, how does it feel to be Oscar qualified?
It's great. It is it is powerful moment, specifically because such a heavy and uncomfortable topic gets space in on the international scene. I come from a small country, so even to Oscar qualifying is big success for us. And my sister is a big fan of this film, and I started to write it because of her. So this success would also be her success. And during the Oscar campaign, I also feel a lot of positive energy from new fans of the film, and I was able to build some strong contacts. And so I see this period not only as an Oscar run, but also a chance to meet new people and grow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we also met.
again, it's a very powerful film. And how about you, Patrick?
I just wanted to add one thing to Eric's. So during the festival run, we visited so many different film festivals, and so many of those films and the crews and filmmakers that we've met through the year, they are Oscar qualified now, and we see their films and how good they are, and this is really, really strong here, and we see also how colorful the stories are, and then there's many personal stories this year, many entertaining stories, and I don't remember such a year with so many so powerful shorts that competing for to get shortlisted and or the nominated.
Yeah, this is the toughest, tightest competition of short films that we have seen in the last 5 years. So many incredible films. And ladies and gentlemen, The Professional Parent is not only about professional care, but also about moral choices within a system that offers few alternatives. It is a story that reveals how society actually works, showing that people who think they are not racist or prejudiced often exposes their own prejudices in everyday life. Now, the film also reflects on how inflation and poverty push families into situations where morality becomes a luxury. It is sad and cruel reality, and not only in Slovakia. The main character, Ingrid, at first appears to be a loving mother willing to cross moral boundaries, working in a grocery store during the day and prostituting herself at night to give her biological child a better life. Now, her intentions seem sincere, but gradually, as the story unfolds, her hidden racism becomes to light, and Ingrid transforms into an anti heroine. This is a film that is powerful and emotional, and it shows us that in life we have choices to make, both for ourselves and for others. Now, those choices can test us and they can reveal our true selves. And The Professional Parent is a lesson to all of us. We can all be better people by simply treating those around us equally. And I want to thank you, Erik, and I want to thank you, Patrik, for sharing this incredible, powerful, and yet beautiful film with me today.
Thank you very much for having us.
You're very, very welcome, and much success and good luck to both of you in your Oscar journey.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And ladies and gentlemen, you can catch all of the Bond on Cinema interviews at bondoncinema.com. Check out our Prime show, our YouTube channel, and you can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Audible, and more. And remember, you'll either see me at the movies or from the red carpet.